Well, hello everyone and welcome to another video. Right now I'm standing on the intersection of Queen and Yonge, but you might notice there are no skyscrapers, and that's because we're not in Toronto today. Today we're going to be exploring a very, very little town called Elmvale. Now, as you can see, this is a fairly big intersection, but that's because this is quite literally the center of town. This is the one main intersection in this town, and it's the only one. Basically, you can see the four corners of this town all right here. So we're going to start off by walking south a bit, and I'll show you the southern end of this town, and then we'll explore some more. And as you can see, there is a lot of snow. These are pretty weird here. The chirping crosswalk signals. And there's another look at the intersection of the town, I guess, as it's the only one. And the southern end of Elmvale is, I'd say, probably denoted by the Pizza Hut, but it's not. I don't know if there's going to be a pedestrian walkway all the way down. We shall see. So right now I'm walking on Queen Street. So I guess we're gonna start with the western end of the town. But yes, we're walking on Queen Street. We're walking west. This is, of course, in stark contrast to Toronto's Queen Street. I'll be honest, I think this is my very first time in a town so small that, in fact, there are almost no big intersections, just the one, Queen and Yonge. And also, even though it's January, and it's almost the middle of January, in Toronto there is barely any snow inside the city or even outside. As even outside the city we have lots of infrastructure. But over here we're so far north that I guess it just sticks. And also, no paid parking. All the parking is free because, well, there's not enough cars to make it paid. There's Golden Hours Indian Bistro, and looks like we have a public library over here on the north side of Queen. We'll take a little bit of a closer look at that once I'm on my way back. But this town is located a little bit northwest of Barrie. In fact, it's closer to to the bay than Barrie. And the bay, Georgian Bay, it is also close to Wasaga Beach. Sorry, Severn Sound is what it's called. And Wasaga Beach is very close as well. So Wasaga Beach is, of course, on the Wasaga Bay. There's also a funnily named Orr Lake with 2 R's on the other side of the town. Here we have a Masonic Lodge. And over here the sidewalk is covered in snow. Some parts are more clean than others, but overall, taking a look at these houses, and it feels very, very nice just to walk around. Maybe you live here. Like I said, the town is very close to Barrie. It's maybe like 15, 20 minutes on a good day. So it's not too bad. But also, and we're gonna see this once we turn back here towards the town, as we kind of reached the western end, there's a foodland. So there is like a grocery option, which is good. It shouldn't be too surprising, I guess. But I never really know what to expect from these little towns. Some of them are just smaller than others. And let's cross the road here and walk back towards Yonge Street. Then once on Yonge, I'll take you guys north to check out the northern end. And I don't know why my microphone is disconnecting. Hold on a sec. Alright, it seems like the DJI microphone isn't working, so I apologize, but we're gonna have to deal with the built-in microphone quality of the Pocket 2. I'll try to keep it closer so you guys can hear me better, but that's the situation. Anyways, we're walking east back on Queen Street now towards Yonge. And Yonge is spelt the same way as it is in Toronto, of course, but it is not the same street, as Yonge Street has a break after about the Gwillimbury area. Wow, these snowbanks are really something. It is super tall. Just look at that. We don't see this kind of snow out in southern Toronto almost ever. There's not enough snow in accumulation. We may get enough snowstorms and snowfall, but usually it doesn't accumulate. Definitely not to these levels. So here is the, I almost said Toronto Public Library again. Here's the public library of Elmvale. So this is the Springwater Public Library. This is on 50 Queen Street West. West means, of course, that is west of Yonge Street. This is a nice little building. I'm guessing it'll be closed today. Oh, by the way, I'm filming this on Sunday. It is Sunday, January the 11th, 2026. Yes, it's closed. And even when it is open, you can see these. It closes at 4 on Saturday, and it only opens at 10. So it doesn't have the longest ever hours. There's a Bell building across the street. There's a Canadian maple leaf right there on the crosswalk. Pretty cool. I like that touch. So it's a little bit windy today. The temperature is -4 degrees Celsius with a wind and chill, making it feel like -15, 1.5. But this seems like a very classic looking snowy day in a small town. The vibes are awesome. There's the tiny art shack. Steelers Restaurant and Pub, and Yummy Treats on that side. So let me know in the comments what you think of this town so far. And also let me know, would you travel up here to check it out? There's Rumi's Grill House and the Palace Tavern, Elmvale. Shout out to Ken Domick, is the YouTube channel that I first saw Rumi's Steakhouse in this town here. I'll leave a channel link for him down in the description, so shout out to him for inspiring me to come out here. Thanks, Ken. Alright, here we are back at Yonge Street. What I'm noticing is a lack of signs on these intersections. Well, they're smaller than I'm used to. So let's take Yonge Street up north to the northern end. Then we'll come back down. So the main thing on this side I want to show you guys is the food land. And that makes this town very valid, even for its size. You'll see on the map that you can barely see it. They have a sign here pointing to the library on the left, the one we just walked past. Alright, so here's the food land, the grocery market, the grocery store for this town. And you'll notice the sidewalk is now nicely salted. So it depends on the business whether they want to make it nice to walk or not. Alright, north of here is just going to be some less interesting residential area as I've seen from the map, but here's a cool church, or Memorial Hall it says. So there is that. Now let's walk back down to Queen. There's nothing much of interest east of Yonge Street, but I'll show you guys the Circle K. And maybe we'll walk on the south side. Okay. There's a vehicle service center on the left. And I also see a cannabis shop, so this town unfortunately did not escape that fate either. Like I said, towards Georgian Bay, this town is pretty close. There's a pretty cool Ontario sign for Georgian Bay as well. The coastal routes. And it's fairly sunny. You can kind of see the sun through the clouds and snow. There's a furniture shop, Rattan Furniture, and there's the Circle K. Alright, we're gonna cross at the chirping intersection. It chirps until it starts counting down the numbers, which is pretty interesting. So this is pretty much it. This is the main intersection, or this is literally the center of the town. And there's not much going on. The Circle K is like a landmark. Interesting. So that's a look south on Yonge Street, but we're gonna check out Queen East now. We're gonna check out the east side of this town. There's a sushi spot. What's nice about the snow accumulation though is that it kind of covers up all of the ice nicely, and I'm getting traction on my shoes even though I should have worn boots, but I kind of zoned out and forgot that everywhere outside of Toronto the snow actually stays. That's totally my fault, but the snow is nice. It really does feel like winter, at least. There's the church. So that other building on the north end of Yonge Street was a memorial hall, but this is the Presbyterian church. Look at this place here. Wow, beautiful. Stop here on red signal. Yeah. This is Simcoe Street, as you can see from the very small white sign that does not stand out in the winter time. That's what I was saying. There's no like street signage on the lights. Also, I should probably mention that the Queen and Yonge Street aren't like exactly north, south, east, west, but they're kind of tilted on an angle, but it's just easier to refer to because Yonge Street does kind of run north to south, and Queen Street kind of runs east to west, but maybe a little bit northeast and southwest. Alright, and past here there's once again pretty much nothing but housing, so let's turn back. Hey doggy. So cute. He's taking a little bit of a walk outside. Yeah, so we're gonna walk back to Yonge Street and go south to see that Pizza Hut, supposedly, which denotes the south end of this town. There's another cute green and white house. This church, the architecture is so nice. It's actually worth picture taking, so I'm gonna take one. Alright, back to the Circle K. it wasn't for the snow or the wind, rather the wind, that should be a pretty good day. It's nice and sunny. It's snowing. This is really, this is a very beautiful day, I'll be honest. It's just too bad about the wind chill. The sushi place is open today. That's interesting. So the only cafe shop here in Elmvale that I wanted to check out, which is called the Tea Room, is closed until Monday. Unfortunately. But if you look online, it is a very, very neat looking spot to check out, and I don't know if I ever can, but if I have the opportunity to visit during the week when it's actually open, I will. But the tea room is the one thing that I wish was open today. Fresh home cooked food. That's on 10 Young Street. Hey, here's a pizzeria. Life's a slice of pizza. Amen. But something that is open here is McDonald's. Yes, there is a McDonald's in Elmvale. That is kind of surprising. But maybe put together with a Foodland location, it's not out of the ordinary, but still, it's always kind of interesting to see the yellow arches just in a random small town. Here's St. John's United Church. Another beautiful, beautiful piece of architecture. You can see that McDonald's is part of a building, and that also has a neighbor's convenience. But honestly, Circle K might be better as a convenience store, as it also has a gas station. There's another variety store and what looks like a wing store, wing place and pizza. Ooh, there's a Service Ontario. And looks like we have to cross the street if I want to keep going. Thankfully, crossing Yonge Street is nowhere as stressful or hard as on any other part of Yonge Street. So we'll just do that and keep on going as there's a sidewalk on this side. There's a Service Ontario location. And right behind these buildings here is a school. The Elmvale School. And I'll have to put up the actual name of it right now. There's another auto service shop, and a Tim Hortons is coming up. It's interesting that the Tim Hortons is kind of on the outside of the city, of the town here. Oh, that snowplow truck had County of Simcoe written on it. Here's a flower shop. Elm Flower. Ready to go fresh bouquet. Nice. The snowbank is almost as tall as the roof. Wow. That's a lot of snow. Here's a Greek food spot called Bubs. And there's the dentist office. There's your sign that says, "Welcome to Elmvale, Township of Springwater." Oh, it looks like we also have a Subway here. Subway. And a auto dealership, Celebrity Auto Sales. Their office is like one of those portable trailer thingies, which is smaller than the cars they sell. Kind of funny. Right, there's the Subway, Tim Hortons, and Pizza Hut. So this is the southern end of Elmvale. How did you like the town, guys? Let me know. If you like the town, drop a like. And comment your favorite shop or house that you saw. Oh, there's a pet value as well. Nice. Alright, so that was the town of Elmvale. We started it off at the one and only intersection here at Yonge and Queen, and we ended on the southern end. Quite literally, because the sidewalk ends right there. thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed exploring the town of Elmvale as much as I did. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. I'm gonna possibly pop in to this Tim Hortons to see how the quality is. Although I don't have high hopes. Alright, as always, I will catch you in the next one, and ciao for now.